So, The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom is right on the horizon. It's less than a month away, and Nintendo has dropped their final trailer for it. And yes, I'm deliberately mispronouncing it because I'm pretty sure there's a double meaning in that name. And I thought I'd kind of give my take on it and the things that really stood out to me. And it's not going to be like a first impressions reaction, but hopefully it'll just be a little bit of fun because I'm sure I'll be totally wrong when I finally get through the game and see the story for real. So let's take a look. So I actually need to stop right there already, because oddly enough, the first thing that stood out to me was actually a technical thing. So like if you rewind just a little bit, the cloud actually, like when the camera goes straight through the cloud, one thing that Breath of the Wild did amazingly on a technical level, they somehow managed to have a really high polygon physics-based grass system running on fairly weak hardware, like on the Wii U level. And when I see this, I kind of think, have they also nailed low hardware footprint volumetric clouds? Because one of the prominent things here is, of course, being in the sky, and there are clouds everywhere. And lots of close proximity clouds as well, especially when you see Link falling from the sky here, and the clouds are actually like falling alongside. Now this is definitely Harteno Village, but it's kind of been built up and settled a bit more. You can see a lot of like these, surely they're Sheikah things or something like that, but it's kind of nice to see the land kind of slowly being reclaimed. Though with the next shot here, it's clearly that it's not that much, because this kind of looks more like an explorer outpost or a trading outpost of some kind, and they haven't really like resettled entirely, but they are kind of like establishing base camps, which I think is a nice touch to show the the progression of time. And this wide sweeping shot here, this is actually kind of concerning because it's like I'm not really sure if it's like low video encoding quality, maybe thinking a bit too deeply in there. And something rises from the ground, and something rises from the ground to the air. I really like the amount of hair that Ganondorf has. The only other form where he looked that beastly from behind was in Hyrule Warriors. There was a shot earlier pointing to the same thing, but something's rising out of the ground here, which is really a great way to, like, you know, transform the landscape. And the shot right after it is an interesting one because you can see that Link is wearing the Flamebreaker armor, and there's also like these waterfalls of lava. Like it could be a giant underground cavern under the world, or it could be like inside Death Mountain itself. This later, like Mission Impossible style thing, honestly, this is the part that actually felt the most goofy, because it's like, I remember playing this on the PlayStation, like on the PS1 or something. And this shot here is interesting because this is one of the labyrinths. I'm trying to imagine how the world can be rebuilt and extended upon. The labyrinths, I'm not really sure like how they can be built up. Now this part here, just this wham shot to this mysterious person. There's just something about the music which, like, this just makes it feel really impactful. And I'm sure this is a brand new character, but I can't help but feel that this person may be related to Twin Rover in some fashion, because in older Zelda lore, there's usually like multiple methods of resurrecting Ganon, right? And one of them is Twin Rover being from an ancient clan and essentially like performing some kind of old ritual to revive Ganon even after he's been killed. And I feel like this person is somehow connected. I'm sure this is a boss of some kind being revealed, and when I saw this, I kind of thought of Bongo Bongo from Ocarina of Time, as well as the Guardian in the Wind Waker at the top of the Tower of the Gods. Now this is a big mystery because this color motif definitely feels like the Twilight from Twilight Princess and the Twilight race, and this kind of barbarian primitive outfit that Zelda's changed into. I get the feeling that she's actually possibly drawing power from the Zonai or something like that, and it kind of makes me wonder, especially later on in the trailer, like more fun gameplay footage. I like this anti-gravity segment. Okay, so this shot here, as well as one a little bit later, feels staged. So, like, this shot of him shooting a big structure and activating it, as well as that giant tank, so in Aonuma's gameplay demo, he showed the fusion thing, right, where Link creates this green goo that connects objects. And one big question I have is, how artificial is this going to be? I'm kind of wondering if pre-fused structures are actually going to exist in this world. Now, this is the shot I was referring to earlier, with Zelda possibly relying on ancient power, because that's a Japanese magatama. And in the gameplay demo, it showed Zonai as enemies, and the Zonai, that was like just a name mentioned in like a couple of items as an ancient race opposing or kind of parallel to the Sheikah in Breath of the Wild. And like that name has never come up before. It's just mentioned as like this really ancient tribe. And I get the feeling that since the Zonai have a similar color motif as the Twilight, I think they're actually one and the same. Like to me, that logic can make sense, because the Twilight race, that's not really a name for them, is it? Like, it's simply like they're from the realm of Twilight. That's why they're called the Twilight race. But surely that's not their actual name. So, you know, that's speculation on my part. But yeah.
Do not look away. You witness a king's revival and the birth of his new world.
I really love that scream from Ganondorf. And epic.
You are not alone.
Lots of epic shots.
Link.
And we have Sidon as an actual world ally, which is something I think a lot of people have been like asking for. Like, oh, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if he actually stayed and fought with you instead of just helped you into the Divine Beast? And now we actually get to see that. Personally, I think one of the main plot lines here is Zelda and Link, and possibly whoever revives Ganon, relying on some kind of power other than the ancient Sheikah stuff, which is, you know, which would be pretty cool, especially since it was kind of hinted at with the Sky Islands being filled with the Zonai robots, which was shown in that gameplay demo. But I guess we'll learn for real in about 3-4 weeks. So, and there is one more final shot which happens really quick during this montage of really epic clips, and it's this mysterious person who is wearing the same outfit that Zelda adopts, except it's clearly more like a dark elfish person. And it could be like the lighting, because the background looks like it's nighttime or something like that. So, but those ears look weird. Like, that's not Zelda's ears. So it kind of makes me wonder who this is. That's it for now. What am I supposed to say? like and subscribe. And it is my complete desire to stream myself playing a decent chunk of Tears of the Kingdom. And part of that is because playing through Breath of the Wild and being unable to capture some of the most epic moments I had, that was one of the things that made me want to record myself in stream. I still remember that boss fight I had at the end of the game where it actually took like 40 to 50 minutes, and it was like one of the most epic battles I had in any video game. That's a moment that I'll only have for myself. Like, it's something only in my memory, because I was playing on my Wii U and I didn't have, there's no capture software on that, and I wasn't a streamer at the time. So yeah, I'm not sure how much I'll show, because this is probably going to be a very big game, probably 40 hours minimum, but I will definitely show myself playing bits and pieces of it, at the very least the beginning and the end, so look forward to that.